Hello everyone, I'm here with a new lesson this term, and the lesson is Our Body on page 141. It's going to be a very interesting lesson if you are going to be attentive and listen to what I am saying. Now you know your body has, you have a backbone, you have muscles on your body, you have two hands, two legs, a pair of eyes, 2 ears, a nose, lips, teeth, and there are 5 sense organs. So we are going to study about all this in this lesson. Let's start. Page 141, Our Body. Write the name of these body parts. Write the names of these body parts. The first one is lungs, you use for breathing. Second one is a heart, that's an organ that is working from the time you have been conceived in the womb of your mother. Then you have the brain, you use always. The liver, that is part of the digestive system. And the stomach, that is also part of the digestive system. The human body is made up of different parts. Some of these parts are also called organs. A number of organs are connected together to carry out special functions and form organ system that help us breathe, work, play, eat and do many other things. Let us learn about some of the organ systems of our body. The human body is made up of different parts. Some of these parts are also called organs. A number of organs are connected together to carry out special functions and form organ system that help us breathe, work, play, eat and do many other things. Let us learn about some of the organ systems of our body. Now when you eat food, you put food into your mouth, it goes down the esophagus, comes down and then comes to the small intestine, big intestine, the stomach, it is digested and then out from the anus and rectum. Rectum and anus, sorry. Now these organs which are involved in the digestion of food, like the stomach, the pancreas, the liver, the bile duct, the small intestine, the big intestine, the esophagus, the mouth, the salivary glands, all of them together form the digestive system. The same thing is applicable to the respiratory system. When you breathe, the nose, the windpipe, the nostrils, the lungs, they form the respiratory system. Then coming to the circulatory system in your body. Now the circulatory system, the main organ is the heart. The heart is made up of cardiac muscle. And it is an organ which beats always, it doesn't stop. It's a machine that is working always. Now the heart is associated with, the moving or circulation of blood throughout, and the main part of the heart is the right auricle, the left auricle, right ventricle, the left ventricle. Then you have the lymphatic nodes, the lymphatic glands, lymphatic system, and then also you have the arteries and veins. Then coming to the reproductive system. The reproductive system, you have the uterus, the fallopian tubes, then you have the seminal vesicles for the male, the epididymis, the scrotum, many other parts which you will learn only when you go to a higher class. Then you have the nervous system. The main part of the nervous system is your brain, and the brain has 3 parts, that is the cerebrum and the medulla oblongata. And the brain is connected to the spinal cord and the spinal nervous, and it is again divided, the nervous system is divided into 2 parts, that is the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. Now all these in general, I have just given you a general overall view of the different systems that are there in our body. Now slowly we will go in detail to each of the systems. So let's begin with the first system, the skeletal system. The skeletal system is made up of bones. There are 206 bones in an adult body. These bones give shape and support to the body. The skeletal system also protects the delicate internal parts such as the heart, brain and the lungs. The skeletal system is made up of bones. There are 206 bones in an adult body. These bones give shape and support to the body. The skeletal system also protects the delicate internal parts such as the heart, brain and the lungs. Now the skeletal system is the main part of the body that gives shape to the body. Now you see, you touch your hands, you have bones here, you have bones here. You touch your head, this is the skull, it's full of bones, and inside the skull you have the brain. Then you have the back, you touch your back, you have the bones here at the back. Then you have the ribs here. Then you touch your thighs, you have the thigh bone. Then you have the leg bone. And here you have the phalanges, the wrist bones, you can say. The palm here, the wrist bones here. Then here you have the fingers. All of them are bones. Now all this gives support to your body. So the main function of the skeletal system is to protect the internal organs. Like you see, the skull here protects the brain inside. The rib cage here protects the heart and the lungs. And also the abdominal cavity, the digestive system, different organs of the digestive system are protected. So in general, the skeletal system is one system that protects the body and also is giving the framework to the body. Because you have a spinal cord or the vertebral column with so many vertebrae, you are able to stand straight, you are able to sit straight, it helps you. The vertebral column helps in keeping a backbone straight, and you are able to stand straight and sit straight. And all the bones here also help for movement of your hands, your shoulders, your legs. The body is able to move because of the different type of bones placed in different ways, and because of the different type of joints also which help them to move. So it is of vital importance. The skeletal system is of very great importance to the human system. Next, coming to the muscular system. The muscular system is made up of muscles. Muscles make up the muscular system. Along with the bones, the muscles help our body move its various parts. We can control the action of some muscles. Muscular system. The muscular system is made up of muscles. Muscles make up the muscular system. Along with the bones, the muscles help our body move its various parts. We can control the action of some muscles. Now if you take your hand for example, this is the muscle here in the hand. So this forms the muscular system. Same way you have muscles all over your body, in both the hands, both the legs. Then the muscular organ, the heart is a muscular organ. It is made up of cardiac muscle. Then you have muscles here to move your jaws, muscles here on the face for twitching of your face. So your body is made up of different types of muscles, and that forms the muscular system. Some muscles, we can control the action of some muscles. Like you see here, this muscles, where I want I can make it come up, where I want I can put it down. So some muscles are under our control. Now let's go on to the respiratory system. The nose, the windpipe and the lungs form the respiratory system. We breathe in air through our nose. From the nose, the air enters the lungs to the windpipe. The air we breathe in is fresh and pure. It has more oxygen gas in it. The air we breathe out is not fresh. It contains mainly carbon dioxide gas. The nose, the windpipe and the lungs form the respiratory system. We breathe in air through our nose. From the nose, the air enters the lungs to the windpipe. The air we breathe in is fresh and pure. It has more oxygen gas in it. The air we breathe out is not fresh. It contains mainly carbon dioxide gas. Now the respiratory system is concerned with breathing, respiration. Respiration is another terminology for breathing. So now the organs there are the nose, the windpipe and the lungs. Now as you know, we all breathe in through the nose. Then the air enters. Now when the air enters the nose, it is rich in oxygen. It enters the nose, comes down the windpipe and enters the lungs. Now when it enters the lungs, it is oxygen rich air. The oxygen is absorbed by the alveoli, the sacs in the lungs, and the carbon dioxide is given out into the bloodstream, that is again diffused out. Now remember, the air that we take in is always rich in oxygen, and the air we breathe out is rich in carbon dioxide. Now you will see that when you close the two nostrils of your nose, what happens? Just try the experiment out with me. Close both your nostrils. After some time, you will be bound to open your mouth and breathe through your mouth. So you see, we cannot hold your breath for long. It is a continuous process. Breathing is a continuous process. Now, correct breathing habits. Always breathe through your nose. Do not wear tight-fitting clothes. Do not cover your face while sleeping. Keep the windows open to let in fresh air. Correct breathing habits. Always breathe through your nose. Do not wear tight-fitting clothes. Do not cover your face while sleeping. Keep the windows open to let in fresh air. Now, some people, they have some obstruction in their nose, some sort of growth or polyp inside the nose, and they cannot breathe through their nose. So what they do is they breathe through the mouth. That is not at all a healthy habit. It is not at all a healthy habit to breathe through your mouth. Second, you should not wear very tight-fitting clothes because this obstructs the movement of air in and out your breathing system. So just wear clothes that are comfortable for you and not very tight-fitting clothes. Third one, when you sleep, please do not cover your face with your bed sheet or blanket. Why? Because you will be breathing the same air over and over again, and sometimes you may also feel breathlessness, and sometimes it may result in too much of carbon dioxide in the air that you breathe, and you may result in death also sometimes if you cover your face while sleeping. So you can cover your head like that if you are feeling very cold up to this part, but keep your nose open during sleeping, because you should not cover. You may be breathing the same air over and over again. That is not at all good. It is very, very dangerous. Keep the windows open to let in fresh air. Now we want the fresh air to come in, the oxygen-rich air to come in, and the carbon dioxide-rich air to go out. So that is why we ask you to keep the windows open, so that there is a passage of fresh air coming in and foul air going out, so that you may breathe in fresh air always. Now coming to the next system is the digestive system.
Bunty, today I have prepared cake for you.
Mom, it is very tasty and delicious cake.
Oh, thank you, my dear son. It is all for you.
Mom, I enjoy eating cakes and burgers so much, but I do not like pulses and milk.
That's not right, Bunty. We do not eat food just for taste. We eat it for maintaining our health and growth. So, we have to eat nutritious food that provides energy.
Oh, really, Mom? But how do we get energy from food?
Bunty, the food that we eat is broken down into small pieces and is digested by our body to produce energy. This process is known as digestion. Bunty's mom told him that food is digested in our body to produce energy. So, let us learn more about our digestive system. Firstly, let us see what all body parts constitute our digestive system. The digestive system includes mouth, food pipe, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, and anus. Let us see the process of digestion in our body. The digestion of food that we eat begins from the mouth. We chew food in the mouth with the help of our teeth. From the mouth, the chewed food goes down into the food pipe. The food pipe is a hollow tube that is connected with stomach at its bottom end. Then the food slides down to the stomach. The food remains in the stomach for a few hours and is broken down further into a paste-like material. Next, the digested food enters into a long and narrow tube called small intestine. This completes the digestion of food. In the small intestine, many useful and simple substances are released and absorbed into blood vessel. Blood helps to transfer these substances to every part of the body. The remaining undigested and waste material travels into the large intestine. From the large intestine, it is removed from the body through the anus.
You can see the picture of the digestive system there. The mouth, the stomach, the large intestine, the small intestine, the anus. The digestive system. The food we eat has to be broken down into simpler forms that can be used by the body. This process is called digestion. Now, if you eat a piece of chicken and rice, it can't go straight into like that as a piece of chicken and grains of rice to the stomach. It has to be digested. Then only the nutrients from that food can be absorbed by the other organs. So for that, the food has to undergo a process called digestion. Now, when the food is there in the mouth, we have the saliva produced by the 3 salivary glands, and then the food is made into a paste, whether it is bread or chapati or rice, and it is called bolus. This food is mixed with the saliva and it is called bolus, and then it goes down the esophagus and reaches the stomach. Next paragraph. We chew food in the mouth with the help of our teeth. The food mixes with the saliva and becomes soft. From the mouth, the food passes into the stomach. The food remains in the stomach for about 4 hours. From the stomach, the food passes into the small intestine. Food in the mouth with the help of our teeth. The food mixes with the saliva and becomes soft. From the mouth, the food passes into the stomach. The food remains in the stomach for about 4 hours. From the stomach, the food passes into the small intestine. So as I told you, as soon as you eat food, you have the saliva secreted from the 3 salivary glands in your stomach, and the enzymes present in the saliva like amylase, they digest the food. The food becomes moist and like a ball, and it goes down the esophagus and reaches the stomach. Now there, the food remains in the stomach for 4 hours, and then slowly it gets mixed with the digestive juices secreted in the stomach and moves on to the small intestine. The digestion of food is completed in the small intestine. Here the blood takes up useful substances from the digestive food and carries it to all parts of the body. The undigested food passes into the large intestine, from where it passes out of the body through the anus. The digestion of food is completed in the small intestine. Here the blood takes up useful substances from the digestive food and carries it to all parts of the body. The undigested food passes into the large intestine, from where it passes out of the body through the anus. So once from the mouth, it comes through the esophagus, the moist food, you can say partly digested with all the saliva and the enzymes of the salivary juice or the saliva given from the salivary glands. Then it comes down to the stomach. It remains there for 4 hours. Then it comes to the small intestine. There you also have the digestive juices coming out from the stomach, and then what happens is it goes to the large intestine. Before going to the large intestine, the nutrients of this digested food is absorbed by the villi, the structure known as villi in the intestine, and passed on to the blood. Now, any food that you eat, whether it is chicken or mutton or chapati or rice, there will be some food that is not digested. And like the nutrients have been absorbed, but now no more that food is needed by the body. It has to be thrown out or sent to the outside of the human body, and that is passed out through the anus as fecal matter. So in short, this is the digestion of food in the human body. So your homework will be 1. To draw the picture, the diagram of the respiratory system and label, and draw the digestive system and label, and send it to the school WhatsApp number. With this I come to the end for today's class, and we'll continue the next day. Thank you.